For the longest time, I was convinced that donating money was the absolute pinnacle of generosity. You know the feeling, right? You send the money, you get that little ping of satisfaction, and you feel like you've done your part. But a few years back, something happened that made me question everything I thought I knew about helping people. I started looking at where my own money was going, and honestly, a pretty frustrating pattern emerged. I was donating, but the same people, the same communities, they seemed to be facing the exact same problems, over and over again. It made me stop and ask myself a really tough question. Am I actually helping here? Or am I just part of the cycle? And then this one thought just hit me like a ton of bricks. My money was absolutely stopping the bleeding. And don't get me wrong, that's incredibly important in a crisis. But it wasn't healing the wound. I was just applying a Band-Aid, not performing the surgery that was actually needed.
So I went looking for a new way to think about all of this, a better framework, and what I landed on was this. Well, it's a really simple metaphor, but for me it changed everything. It's the idea of ferries versus bridges.
Okay, so first, think about donations as ferries. Imagine there's a huge flood, a disaster. A ferry is a lifesaver. It makes these quick, critical trips, getting people out of danger and across that troubled water. In a crisis, a ferry is exactly what you need. It's immediate, it's essential.
But then, think about employment as a bridge. Building a bridge is way harder. It's slow, it's complicated, and nobody's really celebrating you while you're pouring concrete. But here's the magic. Once that bridge is built, people can cross it whenever they want. Every single day, on their own. They never need you to buy them a ferry ticket again.
And when you put them side by side like this, it just becomes crystal clear. Ferries, donations, they're all about short-term relief. You're buying tickets to solve today's problem, and the reward often is applause. But bridges, employment, that's about long-term empowerment. You're building a structure that solves tomorrow's problems, and the reward isn't applause, it's lasting outcomes.
So this begs a really important and kind of uncomfortable question, right? If bridges are so much better in the long run, why are we so addicted to buying ferry tickets? Why does donating just feel so good? Well, this is where we have to get honest about the psychology of giving, what I call the ego trap.
Let's just be real for a second. Donating gives the giver an instant reward. You get that immediate gratitude, you can make a public post about it, you get the tax receipt. It's like an instant halo. But building a foundation for someone, that's messy. It's onboarding headaches, it's payroll, it's training. There's no halo. The reward isn't for you. It's the quiet dignity you help create for someone else.
And this gets to the absolute heart of the matter, because if I hire someone, but in the back of my mind I'm thinking of it as charity, I've already messed it up. The second you start seeing another person as your good deed, the entire relationship is built on a faulty foundation. It can't be charity, it has to be about mutual respect, period.
Okay, so this whole realization led to a massive shift for me. I stopped asking, how much can I give away? And I started asking, what can I build? What kind of structure can I create that puts money in other people's pockets again and again, long after I'm gone? That's the real question.
So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, for me, it boiled down to these 6 things. I started hiring people for tasks I could technically do myself. I started turning one-off projects into recurring contracts to give people stability. I made a point to go out of my way to be someone's very first customer. I started funding apprenticeships, sharing in the profits on projects, and maybe the most important one, I started budgeting for training so that the people I hired could grow and eventually not even need me anymore.
Now, I have to be super clear on this next point. This is not me saying never donate. Absolutely not. Ferries are still incredibly important when a natural disaster hits, when there's a famine. You need ferries, and you need them right now. You don't have time to draw up blueprints for a bridge. So yes, donations are critical in a crisis. The trick is to not confuse that kind of emergency relief with long-term structural change. So to keep things simple for myself, I came up with this little rule of thumb that guides me now. It's really straightforward. If my money can fund a paycheck, it should. That's my default. And if it can't, for whatever reason, that's okay. I'll buy the ferry tickets. I just won't pretend I'm building a bridge.
And ultimately, this is the idea I really want to leave you with. It's my new definition of what impact really means. True impact isn't about how generous I look in this moment. It's about how many predictable, stable paydays exist for other people tomorrow, long after I'm gone, without me even being in the room. That's the real measure of success. If you love this content, please share it, make sure you click like, and subscribe to our channel for more explainers like this.